A drug person can cope to things like seeing their dead grandmother clawing up their leg with a knife in her teeth, but no one should be able to ask to handle this podcast. Fear and Loathing Las Vegas, coming up next.
Haven't Seen It with Tim Sestito and Tommy Tevenet. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Thank you all so much for listening today. This is a podcast where one of us is watching a movie for the very first time, and I believe that's both of us today, Tommy.
Yeah, never seen Fear and Loathing Las Vegas before, so what a trip.
Yeah, what a trip indeed. And kindly enough, we have somebody here to guide us through this trip. Pun intended there. Upstairs, Steve, guide. Joining us on the podcast again. How have you been? Welcome back.
I've been great. I'm happy to be your spiritual guide here. It's been a minute. You guys have really come a long way since my last visit.
It's been that was probably like the first 20 episodes.
You guys are pretty much famous now. So, like, when are you going to get a Spotify subscription?
Listen, if you know the guy who did Joe Rogan's deal, please let me know. I'll gladly take the 100 million from Spotify.
No complaints there.
That's like something else.
That's like the South Park where they're like, "Hello, this is Netflix. You're approved. What's your show concept?
You're green lighted. What is it? Oh, it's just me and my buddy Tommy. We talk about movies. I love it. No one's ever done that before. Fantastic.
There's no movie podcast. We're the only one out there.
There's not two random unqualified people talking about movies all over the internet. That's for sure. It's just exclusively Tommy and I.
No, and their opinions don't matter anyway. This is really where you go to get the real nitty gritty.
Oh yeah,
right here.
This is the real critic zone.
The only
serious criticism.
The only 100%. Opinions that matter.
I should have probably asked before we started recording. Like, when you guys post this on Spotify, they can't see us, can they? Like, the cameras and stuff.
We don't do video, and don't worry.
We don't do video.
I was gonna say, then they're missing out on Tommy's awesome dance moves when they play the intro. Like, does he do that? Does he do that every time, Tim? Like, just to give everybody.
I play it up for you, so I did some.
Okay.
I have some jazz moves.
It depends on his energy level.
Give everybody a visual representation. It kind of looks like sort of a William Hung, but less enthusiastic. If you guys watched American Idol, just like a little shebang sort of thing with the flailing of the arms, but like it's still in the frame of the camera. So
this is why we should be a video podcast right here. You're missing this out.
It makes you wonder how Tommy was ever in the theater productions in high school, because he has no rhythm whatsoever.
Or no, not at all.
Hey, I was the guy who was just the actor. I was good at the acting part. I wasn't good at the dancing or singing part. So I had heavy dialogue, no dancing or singing.
Were you the kid that was cast as like a tree in elementary school, but like you couldn't stay still? So they were just like, "All right, Tommy, no, we don't have a part for you now because you can't sit still."
No, it's funny. In elementary school, I was stage crew because I was like, I don't want to be on stage.
Look at you now. Still stage crew.
Still stage crew. Some things never change.
Some things never change.
Some roles you were born to be in.
So, Steve, since you've been on last time, we usually kick off the podcast with just a little bit. What have you been watching lately? So, any movies that you've seen recently that stuck out to you?
A couple actually. So, I went to the movies by myself. As one does.
As one does.
As one does. I saw John Wick 4. I actually liked it, and it was funny because one of my coworkers that saw it said that they didn't wrap it up that well, or like to his liking, but I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's kind of hard to complain with those movies. You're kind of getting the same thing no matter which way you stick your hand in the bag, And I don't know if you guys saw it, but I thought
I saw it. Yeah.
We both saw it.
Yeah, I thought the ending was great. I thought they could have cut out like one of the action scenes. I just felt went on like it was just endless. Like the one scene where they're in the Japanese hotel and he's fighting in the glass, and I was out and then I was back in because of how intentionally long the action sequence was in that one room. It was like 15 minutes of the movie for a 2 hour 40-minute runtime. It's like, could have truncated that to 5 minutes and
Yeah, no, you thought it was over and then it wasn't. You know, it
and
was just like okay, like now we're in this room with a bunch of glass. Like, okay, cool, we get it.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
regardless, I did like the direction that they brought it in, and you know, I don't know if it's going to be the last John Wick, but I could see them like the last scene, like first scene of the next movie is fist coming out of the ground, like spoiler alert. But you know,
Oh,
Yeah.
spoiler alert.
oh wow, you have a little fucking sound bar here too.
Yeah,
A
we
sound
got
drop.
fancy since you last been here.
Okay, you.
But yeah, the John Wick 4, I thought was a good wrap up. The only thing is, I need to rewatch that movie when it's not 9 o'clock on a Saturday. I'm exhausted because it was tough for me to stay awake at the end. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're getting the same thing out of every scene, so you got to stick with it, and you got to be all in or not at all. But I saw The Unbearable Weight of Talent as well, and
I saw that too. It was very good. I enjoyed it.
Great, yeah, fun Nick Cage movie. Like we were just talking about Nick Cage before we started recording. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's what made me bring it up because, like, I don't know, I like watched it like kind of on a whim where I was just like, I went in with no expectations, and I'm like, it's Nick Cage, it's gonna be good, and I really, really sparked my curiosity more when I started seeing the meme of like them on acid. You know, funny segue to what we're going to be talking about in a few minutes. But yeah. Once I saw that, I'm like, I need to see this movie just for that scene alone. I need context behind this meme. So, like,
yeah, this is the meme knowledge movie for you.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, it was great. Nick Cage delivered as he always does.
Yeah, it's great how much he's able to play up his own image, especially in that movie.
So, yeah. Tommy, I'll kick it over to you. What did you watch this past week?
All right, so recently a game exchange down the street from me had a deal on buy 4 get 6 free on DVDs. So I end up seeing Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds, which was one of the DVDs I bought. Movie I haven't seen in forever. Tom Cruise, obviously the star in an action movie. It holds up, and it's just fucking crazy. Like the 9/11 parallels in that movie are off the walls right there, and just like still just Tom Cruise run away from anything is entertaining. And it's put to good effect when he's running from fucking marshes of death heat rays. So a solid rewatch.
I haven't watched that since 2005.
Me neither. The 9/11 parallels went over my head too.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it could bear a rewatch. I could see it because I remember it kind of got critically panned a little bit. And it's probably because those 9/11 parallels were so fresh in people's mind that they were like,
They were in Boston, right?
Yeah. I think it started out in Newark and then it ended up in Boston. So okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously the ending's kind of hokey, but it's just like, whatever, fuck it.
It's a novel from the 1940s. What do you expect? For me, I actually saw a movie called Sisu, which is an action movie loosely based on a true story. It's a Finnish World War II soldier who's a gold miner. Runs across Nazi troops that find out he has gold and the chase for them to get it. And in the spirit of John Wick, he is very much a unstoppable force. And it was just a really great experience because there's not a lot of talking, there's not a lot of dialogues. It's the tension that's built from the sound, from being around just being in that world for 90 minutes. There are parts that I was like, okay, this is getting a little silly, but it ended up getting so over the top that I kind of got back into it. But it was a smaller, easy story to watch. I very much enjoyed it. Nice 90-minute runtime.
It seemed like a fun action movie. I've heard a lot of good things about it. So
it's a very fun action movie. I would highly, highly recommend watching that movie. But this is not Sisu. This is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Get in. A road trip that's going places.
Morning, how are you?
That aren't even on the map.
I thought maybe we could use you.
From director Terry Gilliam.
Fire!
Johnny Depp. Benicio del Toro. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Rated R. Starts Friday, May 22nd at theaters everywhere.
So talk about a movie trailer that has nothing to do with the movie itself. I know the director Terry Gilliam said that he was annoyed at the marketing for making it
Yeah.
seem like it was some like zany comedy movie, which this is not that movie at all. It's
Yeah, that makes it seem like it's like Road Trip or fucking Euro Trip or one of those stupid shitty like Road 2 movies. So like Terry
well,
Gilliam was like, yeah.
I've never heard the commercial before, and I thought we were doing the wrong movie for a second.
You're like, oh, did I not come prepared? This is my nightmare.
and I was sitting there like going thought exercise. I was like, well, how the hell do you actually market this movie in its actual tone and get people into the theater?
I don't
Hey
think you
kids, you
do.
heard? Hey kids,
It's
you
not
heard of drugs
possible.
before? This is
No.
what being drugs is on like.
Yeah. No, like especially like at that time too. There's like no good way of putting it without putting it like right in your face. So they're like, all right, we gotta appeal to the masses somehow. We'll make it like a hokey fucking like watch this killer road trip movie, which really wasn't much of a road trip movie. They were on one road the entire time. So
I would like to think that there were a couple of like 55, 60-year olds who were just like, oh, that movie looks fun. Let's go check it out. And then just like walking out, shaking their heads in disgust, being like, what did I just see?
I mean that's
Oh,
entirely
God.
possible. Do you know what Depp's movie was before Fear and Loathing?
I
By
mean, at this
chance?
point, Edward Scissorhands came out. I mean, like Donnie
He
Brasco,
had
I think was the year before.
he had Ed Wood.
Ed Wood. I mean,
Ed Wood.
so,
Love
so
Ed
at
Wood.
this, yeah,
Me
at this
too.
point, he was still like pretty much in the midst of like the beginning of his superstardom right here. I mean, after 21 Jump Street and everything like that. So,
Yeah. He definitely looped in some unsuspecting victims.
yeah, I mean, I can imagine. I mean, one thing I was really glad about when I watched this movie. This is my first watch, as we said earlier. I didn't look up the cast list. Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro were in it, but there's so many times I didn't look at my phone throughout the whole movie, which I'm very proud of. But there's sometimes I was like, is that Toby Maguire in a fucking bald cap right now? Like, what? is that Cameron Diaz? Is Christina Ricci the fucking like strung out girl? Like, no, she's too young. Wait, no, it's 98. Like, I'm doing the internal math in my head. Be like, wait, this makes sense. Is that Gary Busey or is that Jake Busey? Which Busey am I getting here right now? Just the shit that over and over again. I was thinking, just like, what random fucking
I had to look
cast.
at my phone for that too. I mean, well, I know props to you for not, but like, I had rewatched it a month ago, and I've seen this movie a bunch. I'm the only one here that has, which is funny for you guys, because I guess you needed that third element. But
Yeah.
I watched it with my buddy who I've forced watched it in college, and I was at his house, and his wife had never seen it, and he was just like, "We're watching it," and I'm like, "You sure you want to let her watch this?" Like, she ended up falling asleep. But like, regardless, like all the cameos kind of kept her up and kept it fun, and like it was the whole thing.
Fucking Mini Me's in this movie, Vern Troyer, and then fucking Jeanette Goldstein, who's fucking Vasquez from Aliens and the foster mom from T2. I was like, who the fuck is not in this movie at this point?
Yeah, and it was very funny too, just tying back into that trailer. Like they put Cameron Diaz in there very intentionally because this is at the height of her star power. And it's like, yeah, Cameron Diaz is in this movie for a minute, a literal minute. She's in the movie.
Yeah, she has literally just a quick cameo. Her role is the blonde TV reporter. That's what it's saying on Wikipedia right now. That's how much she's in this movie.
That Benicio del Toro was like in love with for 10 seconds of his acid trip and wanted to kill the photographer because he thought he was stealing his girl from him, who he met in an elevator. It was I would say especially on a first watch, it's definitely interesting to try to follow what the hell is going on in this movie because
well, first question, I'm assuming you watched this dead sober.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I can't say the same for myself, but regardless, yeah, I mean, like, I think that like it feels Terry Gilliam just really accurately portrayed just like how terrible sometimes a bad drug trip can be or something. It's like, oh god, this is awful. Dim lit lights, just like fucking everything's wavy.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak from Tommy's experiences, but I've never like gone so far as to try either, but like, you know,
No. Yeah, no, I didn't go that far.
But no, like as you know, to Tim's point, like it's very much a visual movie, and like they really do paint the picture of like what it would be like, because at the end of the day, like Johnny Depp also narrates the movie, right? But he's narrating it through Hunter S. Thompson's words, because this was one of his books. So, you know, Hunter S. Thompson is just he's one of my favorite authors, and just, you know, his craft as far as like journalism is concerned and just writing in general really paints the picture so well for you, where you don't even really need to have to visually see it. His words just kind of pop off the page. So this movie definitely complements that in a very good way.
This is a rare movie where narration actually kind of really works, and it really aids in the movie, makes it better. I mean, I think Thompson like said himself that he loved it, the fact that the narration was here, because without it, it just would have been a string of wacky psychedelic adventures over and over again.
Absolutely. And to bring it full circle, the last cameo was Hunter S. Thompson himself. I don't know if you guys ever picked up on that.
Yeah, I caught that at the end where I was like, oh shit.
Which one was he?
So it was in the 1960s flashback when he was in the club.
Oh.
And remember at one point he was on acid and he passed by a guy at the table that looked exactly like him. And he said, my God, there I am. Yeah. That was actually Hunter S. Thompson. That was
I figured that was him. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was 100% him. He was alive during the filming. He knew exactly about the movie. So.
Oh, also Flea is in that scene licking acid off of his sleeve in the bathroom, and some business guy walks in and is like,
that was Flea? I didn't realize that was Flea.
That was Flea. And then the guy walks out and they're like, poor guy walked into a bathroom knowing that he'll never experience life to the fullest the way that we have here. And it was like, I think it was very interesting, because I read that some of like the thematic messages is just like the abundance that's available in Las Vegas, and kind of showing like a lot of the negativities that exist within America in terms of like the corporate world, and then experiencing them on acid, ether, coke, whatever, every drug that's humanly imaginable, they were on. I don't know how they were living by the end of their 4-day bender in Las Vegas.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't even say, "Oh, this is just a movie," because this is actually like fucking shit that happened to Hunter S. Thompson.
No, totally, and
this,
2 cars too.
This is the rare drug movie that is not like a total bummer. You know, like Train Spine has its moments as a bummer. It's working for a dream. It's apparently a whole bummer, but this movie for the most part is just kind of insane and wacky.
It's insane and wacky, but I wouldn't say that it's not a bummer. I would say that like that's kind of the point, is that it's a bummer. It's like, you do all of these drugs, man, and you're not having a good time. You're having maybe the worst time of your life.
Well, yeah, this movie is definitely anxious in a way, but I wouldn't say it's depressing in the way that other drug movies type to go to.
Comparative to like Train Spotting, which is just like heart-wrenching. This does not have that, because it also has this weird thing, and it's usually something I'm more critical of, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it in this movie, where it doesn't really do any character arcs, character growth, character change in it. But I almost view this is an experience of a movie. This is like, hey, if you've never taken acid before and you want to know what it's like, this is the closest experience you're going to get to that without doing it yourself. And
I wouldn't recommend going to Vegas doing it either.
This is why we watch the movies, to experience shit that we never experienced before.
Pick like an open field somewhere, you know. Don't go to Las Vegas on acid. Have you guys ever been to Vegas? Just, you know,
it sounds awful. It sounds like just like fucking stimulus overload.
I'm actually most likely going for a U2 concert and the Giants game in November. But that's to be determined at this point. But yeah, it's such a visual aspect. Like, I would say that is the full strength of this movie. Just the way that it filmed. Like Terry Gilliam and his like the way that he shot this movie in terms of the lighting and the camera movements. Like, there's a lot of one camera, long takes. There's a lot of just camera movement. Like it's never stagnant. It's always moving. There's always something going on. Center frame, back frame. There is so much detail to this movie.
Just
And I feel like I will benefit and maybe enjoy this more on a rewatch, but I felt like on my first watch of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, like that just lost feeling, which I think is intentional too, where you're sitting there and you're like, I'm lost, but so are they. Like they're having incoherent gibberish sentence. There's the great scene with Benicio del Toro, who plays Gonzo, his lawyer. And like he's freaking out in the bathtub, and he wants with White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. He wants him to drop the toaster in, and he just throws a grapefruit at him and shuts him in the door. And then it wakes up, and he has a telephone call from him, and he's like in his office in Las Vegas, like, I got you a suite at the Flamingo. And then they go to the Flamingo, and he's there, and I'm like, what is going on right now?
Yeah.
I have no idea what the hell's going on.
It's just, you're supposed to just feel so fucking high out of your mind. We're just like, what is going on? What is happening right here?
I can confirm it's definitely better the more you watch it. Like it's one of those movies where like I first watched it and I'm probably way too baked to have seen that movie. I need to like really hone in on it. Like, and then I watched it like, more times, and I was like, no, I got the gist of it the first time. I just like
it wasn't because I was just
noticed
baked.
more shit. I'm like, okay, it's not just me. But you do notice more shit the more time you watch it, just because of like, it's just so animated and there's just so much going on all at once. So it's like impossible to catch everything on your first go around.
This is also a movie that like the CGI is terrible, but it actually aids the movie. It's probably aged better because the CGI is so terrible, because it just like adds to trippy drug effects things. I mean, you don't have the typical thing like, I hate like in movies when like a character takes smokes weed and then all of a sudden they like start seeing hallucinations. It's like, no, this is not realistic. This is a way that like Terry Gilliam shot this movie in specific ways where like, okay, what's a way we can get this camera angle to look like how it feels like to be on this certain drug, and over again, which is kind of a cool visual experience.
Yeah. Well, just to like kind of provide some context, like as far as like the movie is concerned, and they do touch on it on the movie as well. The whole like premise of this project for Hunter Thompson was he was with this journal company that asked him to search for the American dream, and they booked this dirt race out in Vegas. They landed on going to Las Vegas in search for the American dream, because I guess that's the be all end all. That's where people go to get rich. And like, it's just sort of, you can really catch a sense of Americana out there. And being Dr. Gonzo and Hunter Thompson being who they were, they had to go all in with a suit of drugs. And that was essentially their finding. So I guess like, going back to your guys' point, what ended up like becoming the sad part was them sort of realizing the type of people that go to those sort of places, and that they couldn't really find the search for the American dream. It's essentially where the American dream goes to die. And like, just the people that they come across and just how fake everything is. And, that's essentially my spiel on it. As far as like, I don't know if you guys know this, but this tattoo on my arm here is from the movie. So that's
shit.
Yeah.
So
no.
we picked a great guest for this movie then.
Tommy, did you not know that about me?
I mean, I think I've seen the tattoo, but I don't think you've ever like called it out. Like, hey, this is my Hunter S. Thompson tattoo from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
No, it's literally a quote from the movie too. It says, "Too weird to live, too rare to die," which is how Hunter Thompson describes Dr. Gonzo at the end of the movie. And,
this is so funny that I had no idea.
Well,
I was like, oh, like, Steve, you've seen this movie, right? You want to come on? And you're like, oh yeah, I've seen that movie all the time. And you're like, oh, I have a fucking tattoo of this. I'm like, what the fuck?
I thought that's why you asked me.
I had zero clue. I had zero fucking clue. It's all right.
I was waiting to tell you until now, because I'm like, I bet you Tommy has no clue.
You bet right. I mean, I've seen that skull tattoo multiple times. I mean, all the time.
No, it's Hunter Thompson.
Good to know the context.
I actually, it's one of the few books I actually did read. I read it in college, but don't really have too many of them. But that was up on the list of one of the ones I loved. So
this is based on something called a book. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that before.
I know you haven't. If they don't have pictures,
it's a little. Well, apparently, like they filmed this, or this book came out in the 70s, and originally in the 70s, I mean, like fucking so many people were like trying to get this off the ground. Like apparently, like Martin Scorsese wanted to do this movie.
Oh,
Like Ralph Bakshi, the guy who did the Lord of the Rings thing, and then Oliver Stone wanted to make this. And there's talks in the 70s of having like Jack Nicholson play Hunter S. Thompson and Marlon Brando. Yeah, Brando as
as
Hanzo, which would have been
Gonzo.
insane. And then there's apparently like Belushi and Aykroyd at one point were up for the roles, and John Cusack was almost cast. So it's just like all these crazy different alternate versions we could have seen. I mean, which one do you think would have been best? I would let's see the Martin Scorsese version of this, but like
with Brando with Brando and Nicholson. Oh my god! I think the production of that would just be more fascinating than the movie in and of itself. Because just having Marlon Brando on stage makes any production theatrical.
Yeah, it would have broken the record that Blues Brothers made for fucking Coke on a set.
Yes.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be acting at that point.
And I mean, to this movie's credit with Johnny Depp, I mean, I feel like the public at this time did not realize how autobiographical it was for Johnny Depp in terms of this casting. Because this just feels like a Saturday night for Johnny Depp based on the stories that we've heard of him.
Especially in the late 90s.
Yeah, especially in the late 90s. But Steve, I want to tie back into your point. I'm going to pull up a clip here when they take Ether and they're about to go into the circus area, and I think it creates that feeling of the griminess that lives around them in the world of Americana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the place, man. They'll never fuck with it here.
Where's Ether? Mescalin's not working.
Oh. There we go. Right. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Great. Ah, devil ether. It makes you behave like the village drunkard in some early Irish novel. Total loss of all basic motor skills. Blurred vision, no balance, numb tongue. The mind recoils in horror, unable to communicate with the spinal column. Which is interesting because you can actually watch yourself behaving in this terrible way, but you can't control it. You approach the turnstiles and know that when you get there, you have to give the man $2 or he won't let you inside. But when you get there, everything goes wrong. Some angry Rotarian shoves you and you think, what's happening here? What's going on? And you hear yourself mumbling.
Don't expect a pull. No fault of mine.
Ether is the perfect drug for Las Vegas. In this town, they love a drunk. Fresh meat.
Come on, buddy.
So they put us through the turnstiles and turned us loose inside.
So yeah, I felt like in this point where it's very physical and very visual. I think that's a high point of both Del Toro and Depp's performance is just the physicality that they bring to these characters and just like their incoherent stumbling while they're trying to get into here. And the ticket takers just take their money from their hands, even though these guys can barely walk through the gates. Yeah. Where you feel like nowadays you would just turn these people away, not even worth the mess, worth the trouble. Mm-hmm. This is showing like, hey, this place, it's just about taking your money. It's about shoving you through the door. It's about making as much money as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like back then I just didn't give a shit. There's another scene of like when they go in to see what's her name, Debbie Reynolds, and they give like the cash to the guy, and like immediately they get thrown out because of like, I'm assuming they're drunk as fuck or like cause a ruckus immediately inside. Just people don't give a shit. They're just all there for the money, all there for the fucking greed.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I'm sure Vegas is still like that in a lot of ways. Like it's Sin City, man. Like at the end of the day, it's like you're there and they understand while you're there, you're gonna be as fucked up as humanly possible for the most part, especially if it's your first time going and they don't know your story. They don't give a fuck. Like you made it to the front door with cash in your hand and they're just gonna let you through.
I mean,
But
yeah, let's be honest. How much has Vegas fucking changed in the last 60 years? It's probably not that much different, to be honest.
Well, yeah, it actually has. I mean, Tommy, we literally watched a movie that is somewhat true. In that time, all the casinos were controlled by the mafia
That's
mm,
true.
out in that
fair
area.
point.
So the control and like how they operated is a lot different than they are now when they're all corporately owned, where it is a strict business, where that was like an expansion of business, but knowing that mafia had to have some kind of um looseness to it to just continue operations. So that's a pretty big difference between how Vegas was back then versus there. I imagine the feeling of Las Vegas is still very similar, but if like you showed up to a club today and you couldn't even stand and you're taking 5 foot steps and like hunched over like a gorilla trying to enter the place, the bouncer is going to be like, no, get off, get out of here.
Yeah,
I
get the
literally
fuck out.
cannot, I can't let you into this place. Where obviously there's a movie, I can't confirm or deny the truth of that sentiment, but I imagine maybe more back then, like somebody really messed up.
Yeah.
Still, put him through
No,
the
hey,
turnstile. He's got $2 in his hand. We'll take it.
yeah, no, hey, fair point. Yeah, like 70s were a totally different time, especially the early 70s.
Yes.
So let me ask you then, because there's a lot of cameos. We kind of touched on them. Who is your favorite cameo in this movie?
Gotta be Gary Busey.
Yeah, I was about to say Gary Busey too. I mean, just
I
like
mean, that was hysterical. He was selling it so good.
yeah, because at first it's great that he also like obscures the fact that's Gary Busey for a second. So you're kind of just like wondering, like, is that Gary Busey? Who's
Oh,
that?
I knew right away from the mouth.
Yeah,
As soon as I saw the mouth, I'm like, that is a Busey. And then I had to
that's
look
a
it up.
Busey.
Yeah.
That's a Busey. Yeah, I mean, like apparently Gary Busey improvised that line of like keeps giving me a kiss, and Hunter S. Thompson was like, no, I don't want that in the movie. Fuck that. And then after watching it a few times, like, all right, that's actually kind of hilarious. So let's keep that in.
It's so funny.
Yeah, and it's this weird of like trying to. I feel like the movie is trying to. It's following a journalist chronicling what's going on in Las Vegas and if you can find Americana there. That's the general gist of the movie. And I think the crazy thing, and I think it's part of the truth of Las Vegas. I've never been, but it's that if you're down, you want to get out of that town as quickly as you humanly can. And for some reason, it's still drawing you back in because he tries to make his escape, tries to get into the car, drive away, and is somehow looped back in because now they have another suite at the Flamingo Hotel. Also, the trashing of those 2 hotel rooms is some of the most impressive hotel room trashing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. No, and not to mention room service every meal that they have, right? Like, did they just have like auto room service like for like breakfast, lunch, and
Constant.
dinner? Yeah, just
Well, I
constant.
mean,
And they're like, "Hey, we need the cart back," and they just keep pushing the bellhop out the door or whatever.
well, I mean, like they obviously at one point like skip on the bill or trying to like leave without fucking paying.
I think they
They
skip on
definitely
all of
skipped
those.
them.
All
Yeah, they
those
skipped all
bills.
those bills, so they didn't give a shit. It's
Well,
like,
yeah.
whatever, fuck it.
Well, it's very interesting the craftiness that comes out of being that kind of drug user, and you see it when the maid comes in to do the cleaning, and they like Gonzo like pins her on the floor, and then they end up talking, be like, no, we're agents here. There's a big drug ring. We're trying to break it down. These 2 guys who look zonked out of their mind. They're like, yeah, you go and you say this password, and you'll get $1,000 a week if you do any reporting. We're just going to call you once. And she's like, that would be great. Like they built her up and then just like walked her out the door. And it's like, you're never going to hear from these 2 guys again because she just walked into probably the worst hotel room that she's ever seen outside of a dead body, because that just happens in hotels a lot.
Yeah,
Hey, it worked though.
fucking T2 mom.
Yeah. But I mean, I think like really the most interesting like aspect about this movie and or I should really say book is that really Hunter S. Thompson's whole claim to fame was he really started guerrilla journalism. Like it's something that the world had really never seen before within America, within the confines of America, at least. Like, I mean, apart from like, people writing about the Vietnam War and stuff like that, but he wanted people to see what was happening on the streets of their own country. Some of the like, fucked up shit that was going on in this country. For lack of a better phrase, I'm allowed to curse on this podcast, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
At this
we're
point,
radar.
To my mother's Degrin. She always
Yeah.
asks me, she's like, "Can you stop cursing on the podcast?" I'm like,
You're like, fuck no.
when we get advertisers, yes.
Tommy said it, not me. But
Yeah, they curse
like,
on.
but like, a few of like Hunter S. Thompson's real claims to fame was that he followed the Hells Angels for a little while. I don't know if you guys
I knew that.
found that in his notes. So like, what's interesting about that is that he, in order for him to do that at the time when the Hells Angels was what it was back then, he actually had to pretend he was like interested in joining. So he became an associate for them for a long time. And like he had to do all the initiation processes that all their like initiates have to do. And it was like fucked up as they were, he did it to just kind of like keep the whole like facade that he was very much interested, but he got a lot of content out of it. And when he told them, all right, like I'm out, I'm not interested, I got what I need, they almost beat him to death. Like literally.
Shit.
Like, they almost literally beat him to death. But at the same time, he was able to publish something that the American public had never seen before. It was something that was true. It was something that was happening on their own soil, and they wanted more. He was the first one to ever like really expose something so begrudging to light that was happening right in people's backyards. So then, enter Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which is essentially, the irony behind Searching for the American Dream in Las Vegas. Like you really like can't go wrong from there.
Yeah. I mean, like in many ways, the average Vice reporter owes everything to Hunter S. Thompson. Because like that's essentially what Vice's stick is, just like gonzo journalism like that. It's like investigative journalism in some ways. Undercover journalism.
Do you think Hunter Thompson would have liked Vice or no?
No, he would have hated
them. He probably would have hated it.
It's so agenda, it's so agenda driven. And Vice is also likely to go down in the next year or two because they're not making money.
Yeah. Sorry, Vice.
I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star. I am a big, bright, shining star.
All right. We come to our star of the show segment. Steve, I'm going to kick it over to you first. Who is the star of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Gary fucking Busey. No.
Yeah. Seriously.
Johnny Depp goes without saying, man. He's the voice. He's the main character. He is Hunter Thompson. He embodies the role so well. It was does it so well that he actually does it again in the Rum Diary. So the only
is that movie worth watching?
It's not as good, but like I enjoyed it. Like for what it's worth, it's definitely not as exciting of a story, but it's something else. So the only other person to ever attempt to pull off Hunter S. Thompson was Bill Murray, and he actually does it really well too. Yeah, but
apparently Bill Murray like told him like Johnny Depp before he picked this role, he was just like essentially just like, all right, like be careful because like 10 years from now you can find yourself playing this guy over and over and over again. Make sure the next role you get is nothing like him. So yeah, it was Peter Boyle played like the Benicio del Toro role too. So is that should we check that out? Is that next? Haven't seen it.
No. You gotta space it out a little bit. You gotta space it out a little bit.
Hard stop on that.
That was
hard. Just like fuck that. No, we've had our Hunter S. Thompson filled, Tommy.
We'll cover it again, but like give it a little time, a little brevity. We don't need to just not Hunter S. Thompson month here on the podcast.
Speaking of months, we should have called this month Anxiety Month because every movie we had was all about fucking insane anxiety in some way or another.
Postpartum naming, right there. So.
Yeah, exactly. Vertigo, anxiety inducing. Whiplash, the most anxious movie I've ever fucking watched in my life. And then now this. So Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Depp is the star of the movie, but I think the best performance is Del Toro. And I think Gonzo's character, because he's like dark and violent and not a good person at all. Like he
brings a young hippie who's probably underage to his room and gives her her first acid trip, who was just there to meet Barbara Streisand.
Definitely
And,
underage.
and
Yeah.
definitely underage. Like, like this guy has no set of morals whatsoever, but like holds other people to a standard of morals. And then there's the scene at the end when they're at the diner and he like comments on the waitress's behind and she's like, get out, and he like pulls out a knife and walks over to her and takes the pie. Like he's very intimidating and cruel. And I think part of it is you don't know who this person is off of these kind of drugs. So we don't know if he's a good person or not because his mind is so clouded and it adds that level of mystery to it. So I think Del Toro gives the best performance because I think it's trickier than the Hunter S. Thompson outside of that having to be like an impression. I think you're still somewhat intrigued in this character despite being revolted by pretty much every action that he does.
I mean, Del Toro's definitely like the wild card of this movie. He's like the driving force and like makes most of the plot, makes this what little plot there is in this movie.
Plot is very, very loose.
Yeah, exactly. This is mostly just a drug trip of a movie, but Depp, I think, holds it together. I mean, like the fact that the narration works because even in narration, he's still a compelling character right there, and he embodies like Hunter S. Thompson in a way that it could be easily just a stupid character and just like a lame character, but he just makes it in a way that just seems kind of just interesting and cool in a way. So
yeah. No, for sure. But I mean, who he was as a person, he was like an American politician, or not an American politician, but American attorney. But he was a politician. He was like, got himself an actual doctorate. And at the end of the day, he ended up just disappearing. He's presumed dead. Nobody knows where he is.
Love that mystery.
That feels like the fitting send off right there.
Yeah, no, he just kind of fucked off one day. So, it adds an element to his mystery, being how intelligent and influential he was, like in a lot of degrees.
Johnny Depp wishes he could just go away from the public eye, but onwards and upwards.
Are you ready, comedy partner? Waka waka.
All right, so Steve, Tommy, with this work as a Muppet adaptation.
Yes.
100%. I mean,
this is Bert and Ernie all day. Like,
you wouldn't have Gonzo be Gonzo?
Yeah, like that'd be too easy. I think it's a Bert and Ernie sort of thing. Like they're a dynamic duo.
Bert's definitely fucking Johnny Depp. I mean, he's definitely
Hunter. He'd be the Duke, the Hunter S. Thompson character.
I mean, you'd have to have the Dr. Teeth from Electric Mayhem just like throughout this movie, just always on different drug trips. Janice is obviously the hippie that like he gives the acid to. That's the obvious one right there.
I think with the visuals of that with the Muppets, it would be even more of a trip. I would love to see them do that adaptation. But it's in the hands of Disney, so
it's like in the Muppet adaptation version, instead like you'd have like fucking like they do a drug trip where instead of it's just all CGI raptors, it's all just humans, and that's just like a crazy drug trip for the Muppet where it's like, oh, humans, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's like they definitely do that in like SpongeBob, where
when they go above land or whatever,
and they're like actual.
But it'd be funnier to watch like behind the scenes, just watching the fucking Muppets get all tangled up. Like, I understand some of them are hand puppets, but maybe they're like, I imagine them to be like marionettes or some shit. Like, and just they're trying to do the ether scene, but all the strings keep getting tangled in there.
So that would like work in the movie's favor because, of course, the lines would get tangled because these people can't walk. Puppets can't walk. Right. Please make a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas Muppet adaptation. That would be wild.
Yes.
Review time. Steve, give me your score out of 5.
I'd say like solid 3 out of 5. It's very good drug movie. Like, it's definitely a starter flick. I would say if you're into that. But if you're a huge Hunter Thompson nerd like I am, you'll appreciate it just for how like accurate it is to the book and just like how you can like actually get a visual representation of what's been on the page. So
Tommy.
I think this is a very fun like movie. I mean, like it's pretty much just feels like the worst drug trip you've ever been on, which I guess isn't fun, but it feels in a way that's entertaining.
But you learn a lot. You learn a lot.
You learn a lot at the end.
You learn a lot during it, like most experiences on drugs. You push through all the bullshit, and at the end, you're left with a moral. And sometimes the moral is don't do so many drugs. Maybe you just fucking
don't go to Las Vegas is the moral I got out of this movie. But I mean, Terry Gilliam Terry Gilliam just films like pretty much everything in a great way, and just really brings in the like mindset of these characters. And it was entertaining throughout, and all the cameos were also like, oh shit, Tobey Maguire in a bald cap. Oh shit, Christina Ricci, like the fuck? Why is she here? But overall, I like this movie a lot. I'm gonna go like 3.5 out of 5. So it's a fun movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3 out of 5. I think this is it's a visual movie and it's an experience. It's not going to be for everybody. Terry Gilliam said that he wanted to create a divisive, like the best movie of all time and one of the most hated movies of all time. And this movie sits on Rotten Tomatoes at a hot 50%. So I think he did his job perfectly.
To the point, Gene Siskel gave it a thumbs up, and Robert Egert gave it like a star.
Yeah, he gave it 1 out of 4 stars. So
I didn't know it wasn't like revered well by the critics. Shit.
Well, I think you either loved it or hated it because of that. But I it's such a distinctly visual movie. If you're going in and you're like, I need a plot or I need something to go on, you don't watch this movie. But if you want to understand the feeling of something, give it a shot. I think you'll find something there. Yeah. And that's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Upstairs, Steve, thank you so much for joining us this week. Do you have any socials you want to plug?
Sure. At oh fuck. At I feel like such a pretentious dick. At underscore at big_mooch. That's MOOCH 821. Holla at your boy on the Instagram. Why the fuck not? Hey,
ask him questions on Instagram.
Ask him movie questions on Instagram. Slide in his DMs, ladies. They're wide open.
Ladies
ask him what other.
They're way more open for the ladies than they are for the like avid Hunter S. Thompson nerds that are like, hey, well, it's not autobiographical. It's actually a novel, but it was based off a real experience. It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, don't bother. Please.
You can find out Steve's other movie-related tattoos that I probably wasn't aware of.
No, that's actually the only one, which makes you not noticing it even worse. So
the only fucking one.
Yeah, I have a video game tattoo and 2 music tattoos, and then that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, I just missed on the skull one, which I've seen for years.
I lived with you essentially when I got it. You lived. I was literally upstairs, Steve, when I got it. I got it in Norwalk. It's fucking great.
Well, he wouldn't know Hunter S. Thompson reference if it hit him.
Oh no, I told him, and he was just like, cool.
I was probably drunk or something else.
Yeah, something else. Now I'm going with something else.
You are something else, Tommy. All right, Tommy. Any final words before we wrap this up?
So movie tattoos. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. You can follow us on social media at Scene It Pod. That's on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for the Gen Zers. And leave us a 5-star review. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And thank you guys so much for listening. We don't have our schedule finalized yet for June, but we're going to come up with some good movies. So
you don't have a schedule, Tommy. Stop pretending.
So, yes, we do. So we'll have that.
You do, Tim. Tommy doesn't. You just come on. You know it.
I go with the flow. I'm like, what movie are we watching tonight?
Tommy's more of the schedule guy than I am, to be honest. But thank you guys all so much for listening this week. We'll see. We're going to take Memorial Day off, but we'll see you back at the start of June.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Steve.